Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to War on the Sea, a new game out by Killerfish Games, the developers of Cold Waters and Atlantic Fleet. This is a real-time naval combat game that looks at the South Pacific campaign, specifically the Guadalcanal campaign, and mixes a real-time strategic layer of a game in a dynamic campaign with a real-time tactical combat resolution. This is episode number 8 in our Let's Play series, playing as the Japanese, and so far the war's going pretty well. We've got a couple of aircraft carriers that we've kind of been shuttling around using to wipe out American invasion task forces that have head north. The Americans haven't pressed their carriers very far forward. They haven't been very aggressive, although we've caught fleeting glances of the American carriers at long range. But they really aren't providing enough air cover for their invasion task forces, and as a result, our bombers are kind of having a field day with them. That being said, we also have set up some reinforcements to build Guadalcanal up into an airfield of its own in its own right, and we are probably at some point soon gonna maybe switch tactics to try and encourage some more naval combat. I'm thinking probably not in this episode or the next episode, but in the near future, we'll probably build a strong surface task force with some battleships and trying to destroy some of these incoming task forces with gunfire rather than air combat. It'll let us keep our carriers on the station longer, reserve them for enemy aircraft and enemy aircraft carriers, while still allowing us to shut down the sea lanes to Guadalcanal with naval gunfire. That's at least my thought. But we will see how that plays out in future episodes. With that being said, this was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel, so let's go ahead and jump back into that. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys at the end. Find the enemy carriers! Bastards! They're so hard to find. You spot them, and then they're gone. Well, it's nighttime. We'll fast forward to 5 a.m. when we'll get our patrols up. All right, so the Shokaku's almost back. She's almost ready to get replenished. I flew north to south. I should have seen them if they were flying north, Deadpool. Surface radar against those carriers, basketball, that feels dubious. I need more command points is really what I need. I mean, I'd love to have the Yamato out and just walloping the enemy with long-range 18-inch shell fire, but she's too many points. I'd get rid of the Shokaku, but having that air power is just turns this game onto easy mode. We have not lost a ship. We've lost 77 aircraft. The enemy, on the other hand, has lost 27 ships for 241,000 tons. Not bad. Now, the aircraft carriers are worth 120 points, so if I do decommission this, then I instantly can build a pretty respectable surface task force, maybe even with like a Congo class battleship. But I don't trust my ships in surface combat against the radar-guided Americans. Whoa, Jamin, thanks for the follow. I do have 2 carriers, Bo. All right, let's do our air operation thing. Right. Getting our land-based scouts up. All right, Suikaku, go ahead and launch your 12 fighters up. Still got 16 torpedo bombers and 19 Vals. We still got a pretty respectable air complement. I don't put scouts up all around my carrier. I do leave some blind spots. But I don't think the AI will exploit them. It would require the AI going way out of its way. I just don't think it's going to do that. The other option they could do if they didn't let you do it manually was at least have an option where you could see all the different paths of your aircraft currently on the map. That would also help with setting up patrol arcs. Okay. And that's probably good enough for now. Got a bit of a gap here. Merchants coming right up the slot. We're gonna have to launch on them. They're real close to Guadal. Just waiting to see if we spot enemy carriers. Another set of merchants down here. Oh man. Another task force. What's this? Destroyer. It's probably the one destroyer left from that other task force. All right, so what is this? 2 destroyers, 3 merchants. Go get them, boys. We'll do some dive bombers. I'm assuming we won't get everything with the torpedoes. All right. Kates, go tactical. There we go. Three groups of 4. There's 3 enemy merchants. There are 2 destroyers. I think I'll leave the destroyers for my dive bombers. We'll just make sure to kill these merchants with torpedo bombers. 1 destroyer in the front, 1 in the rear of the column. So a little bit more intelligent placement of their escorts, I think, from the AI this time. Okay, good. All right. Your group, you'll target number 3 or number 2. 5, you'll target number 3. Group 9, you'll target number 4. Bo, the Allies have the Yorktown and the Allies have the Enterprise and the Hornet, I believe. And the Japanese get the Zuikaku and the Shokaku in the campaign. The Japanese get the Yamato and the Musashi, as well as the 4 Congos. And the Americans get the North Carolina, the South Dakota. So they get I think they get 6 battleships also. No Saratoga in the game, nope. I think it's equal number of carriers and battleships. The Americans have a huge advantage when it comes to cruisers. They've got way more, especially light cruisers. For whatever reason, the game's like, yep, those Cleveland class light cruisers, half of which aren't even built yet. You get them all. Same for the Fletchers, really. You get like all 157, which is weird because like some ships the game goes out of its way to be like, nope, you don't have access to this. The Yorktown it knows is sunk. Some of the heavy cruisers like the I think the Baltimores, it says like they're not available till 43, but not the Clevelands or the Fletchers, they're all there. All right, torpedo bombers coming in, first group. Bearing the flak. These guys will have it the worst because they are the only target for the enemy for the majority of their flight in. The rear flights will be under fire for less. All right, so 4 torpedoes out. 3 of these aircraft are smoking, but they've now shifted their fire to the second group. Second group's dropped. Can't even see the ship. Well, she's sinking for sure. We've lost 1 Kate so far. So it was 3 torpedoes into that rear merchant ship. 1, 2, 3, 4 torpedoes into number 3. Do we only attack with 2 groups? These guys didn't attack? Fucking A. I just forgot about them. All right, well, the two enemy merchants definitely got sunk. I could have sworn I told 3 groups to attack. All right, so 3 and 4 both sinking. This poor American Marines, right? Rip to these guys. Could you imagine? Thank God that never happened in World War II. I mean, yes, kamikazes, obviously, but like, I don't think there were. I mean, it happened a couple of times in the Atlantic to U-boats, I want to say, and one, but like, there was never a time where a task force just got overwhelmed by torpedo bombers in the Pacific that had troops on board. It's interesting. It really, I mean, it goes to show you that the Allies really did a good job of protecting their troop transports. Also that the Allies really didn't kick up their amphibious operations until they had largely wrested control of the seas and airs. Yeah, Guadalcanal probably would have been the one campaign where that might have been possible. But it never happened. It came close, to your point, Neuhauser, but it didn't happen. Yeah, breaking the communication of the enemy helps. That's true, Coffee. Although, like, even land-based, you know. Part of me wonders if it would have happened if the Japanese weren't so obsessed with enemy carriers. Like, if they had realized the value and utility of merchant ships, would it have happened? That's true, Ivan, which I think is funny because the Val wasn't a bad plane, but the Kate was so much better, in my opinion. Like, the Japanese had the premier torpedo bomber at the outbreak of the war. That doesn't sound pleasant. I need to get a broadside shot on this guy. And now I'm eating flak fire for no purpose. The good news is those 2 merchants, there's less flak, I think. I don't know if they ever toned down the merchants, though. I haven't been able to tell yet. The merchants had absurdly accurate flak for a period of time. That looks like a good enough angle. Go ahead and move in an attack, I think. Maybe not. Just get a little bit further ahead. A little bit further ahead. A little bit further ahead. Go. Bank in, boys. Oh, that would have been a good shot. Enemy flak. Steady. Steady. Not yet. Hold her steady. Drop. Speed off, boys. Get out of there. Oh, we lost one. Damn. I don't know that we're going to get many hits on that. That's not a great angle there. We might have overshot. For sure one, but maybe just the one. Yeah, that first one missed. The second one, the one that hits a dart. Ah. Seriously? Jerks. Bastards. Should have lined him up better. Well, we got two of them. One remaining merchant. In the game, Oak, I don't know about real life. The 250 was definitely what they carried. All right, so we got two more merchants. We lost 2 aircraft. RTB, boys. Those dive bombers out. Let's also take a look. So the one place I don't think the flights did a good job. What's this? Oh. All right. Enemy surface task force is in the slot now. There's the enemy shipping. Maybe don't attack. Attack 3 with 2 groups. We'll go with 2 on the merchant ship, 8 bombers on the merchant ship, 4 on the rear destroyer. It's probably overkill on the destroyer, but or on the merchant ship, but I want to make sure we get it. Also, these destroyers don't have dual purpose. At least the rear one doesn't. I don't think either of these do, which makes their flak a bit less effective. Which would explain why perhaps we only lost two Kates on the initial attack. I'm in love with a dive bomber. All right. Speed it up. Which is interesting that the dual... Oh no, these are dual purpose, so never mind. They're just not as sexy dual purpose as the Fletchers. I love just the ripple that you see of the 5-inch shell puffs of flak. Incoming dive bombers! Bombs away! There's some good hits there. All right, quite a few hits on number 2. And a fair number on 3 also. So I think we did a good job there. Didn't lose any of the Vals so far. They might get hit on their way out, I suppose. A bunch of them are smoking, but nobody shot down yet. We'll see if they finish any off with a lucky flak salvo on the rear on the way out, but I doubt it. Good secondary explosion on that rearmost destroyer. Meanwhile, the enemy merchant must have been a little bit overkilled because it died real fast. So hopefully we get this rear destroyer also. But that last merchant's gone, so the enemy invasion task force stopped in its tracks. Just thinking about the poor maintenance crews for my planes. Hey, listen. You got a job to do, okay? No one said it's going to be easy. No one said they're going to bring back perfectly intact airframes. That's a nice big fire. There goes the merchant ship rolling over. Another secondary on this destroyer. I think she might be a goner. We keep getting nice secondaries that can really spread the damage and make it worse. Got fire all the way from the rear of the bridge to the propellers almost. Yep, two more. Well, with that merchant, each merchant I think is roughly about a battalion, well, maybe a regiment, about 1,200 men. It's not quite a brigade. Got to imagine the guys are like, so where are the aircraft carriers, huh? We're just sailing into death. We get no help, no air cover. Why does it cut me away from the ship? It didn't used to do that. Huh. Can we get back onto... Nope. Okay, so they scuttled the destroyer. We rarely see that. And the merchant ship was sunk. 8 more command points. There is an enemy surface task force here. Alright, now I want to launch a few more fighters to give me a little bit more information. If the enemy is down here by Rennell, we didn't get a great look at it. So let's do that. Let's get a few more zeros up. One more zero. All right, meanwhile, we've got this enemy surface task force, 2 more heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers. And we're going to hit it with dive bombers, 7 of them. Can we also hit with out of Shortland? Can we get 4 in there? Are they going to be in range? No, they're not. Damn. Also, let's get some Betties up before the day is done. Send them down the slot. And our carriers are back here. So let's do this. Let's get them into Rabaul. We'll go ahead and replenish their air wing, and then we'll bring the Shokaku back up into action. Did I not launch my fighters? Oh, I did. Okay. Go in, Vals. Just randomly telling them to attack the... What am I attacking anyway? Oh boy, so there's an Atlanta. There's 2 Atlantas in this task force. Then 2 treaty cruisers and 2 destroyers. We already lost this lead Val? No, we didn't. Shift your attack to number 3, the enemy heavy cruiser. And so we're focusing our dive bombers on the 2 heavy enemy cruisers. Maybe we should go for the Atlanta, but we'll see. These guys are worth more at least. bombs away before anything gets shot down. Very good pattern there, it looked like. A bunch of direct hits. Not quite as devastating as second. Well, I don't know. Number 3 got a bunch of hits too. We've lost 2 Vals out of the force of 7. Again, you can see these turrets are very different than the Wichitas. These are much different looking. Guns look much more close together. Bit of a more rounded turret top. That was much more of a boxy turret design. So you can definitely tell the difference between the heavy cruiser designs. The 2 heavies both took a fair bit of damage, although this one, maybe the bombs didn't hurt 3 all that bad. Looks like 4 only got hit by 1 bomb? But I'm confused now. So 4 got hit by 1 and she looks fine. Or 4 got hit by 1 and she's a flame. 3 got hit by a bunch and she looks fine. Okay. Moderate damage on both, so none of them are going to sink. We lost 2 Vals. All right. Meanwhile, our fighters are out here swinging, looking for the American carriers. Yeah, still nothing. What's up with that? Oh, the enemy knows where my carriers are, so we're gonna sail away. We'll pause. Still 0.2 of an hour more. We'll go with more Vals. Dive bombers seem better to attack enemy task forces with heavy amounts of flak. But Kates are way more efficient at sinking enemy ships. The problem is they lose a lot more. Alright. Let's go after this enemy surface task force. Where are they located anyway? Oh, they're over here. They're shooting at me, but I hadn't spotted them yet? Okay. Alright, so the enemy cruisers that took damage, or the heavy cruisers, are going to be our focus. Four, 3. We'll go after the Atlanta with 1 more. So we're going to go after the Atlanta with 1 group, and then the 2 heavy cruisers with another. Or the other 2. Okay, we're coming in under heavy flak fire from the very beginning. The good thing is these American heavies don't have the best flak batteries. I'd be more worried if they had like Cleveland class and Atlanta class than 2 heavies. But just the Atlantas so far. They don't have a lot of Atlantas left. They've already lost, what, 2? Alright, so here come the Vals. Heavy flak. Just look at the... Jesus Christ, look at that wall of flak. One of those is going to probably get shot down before it drops its payload. 2 of them are already smoking. Somehow they all made it through that last barrage. Well, they got their bombs off. I'm pretty sure they got all their bombs off. Several hits on the Atlanta back there. She's a flame. Nice. At least 2 250 hits on this centerline cruiser. 1, I think, on this. And then the Atlanta took a fair bit of damage. 1 dud bomb hit on one of the heavy cruisers, it looks like. We've lost 1 Val so far. They're still shooting at us as we attempt to escape. Hey, Newhauser, did the SBD scouts also double as bombers when you needed to send out an alpha strike? Right, so the Atlanta took a fair bit of damage. I don't think she's going to sink. I don't know if any of these ships are going to sink. That destroyer's aground. Heavy, minor, heavy. So heavy damage to the Atlanta, heavy damage to one of the heavies. I thought it said moderate damage on them before, though. I don't know that they're going for the land. The AI is not very smart sometimes. Let's run aground. What are we looking at now? Heavy, moderate, minor. Your ships take damage when they run aground. I don't know if the AI does. Just rinse and repeat. That feels like the name of the game. Just keep bombing. Maybe we'll get our Bettys out on these guys next time. Heavy, heavy. So number 5, the Atlanta's actually seems to be taking increasing damage from the fires. Her flooding level's going up also. She's a flame all over here. So we're going to stick around for a little bit longer. We'll have one of these groups fly north. So maybe we can spot them again. Want to stay on the map to let them take more damage. All ships are amphibious ships, Rook. Just got to be going fast enough. Bad 4I15, thanks for the follow. All right, so we did sink the Atlanta. Hell yeah. Atlanta sunk. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of War on the Sea, a new game out by Killerfish Games, the developers of Cold Waters and Atlantic Fleet. Another good turn for our air forces. Heavy casualties in the pilot crews, which is not good, but because crew experience doesn't really matter, we don't really care. This is a, I mean, this thing's been one-sided so far, so we'll have to see how to mix things up. But that'll be next time. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.